Hey folks, happy Tuesday, welcome back. I hope everyone had a good Columbus Day weekend. Several updates today, including a pretty heartwarming story about one of our students at Souhegan High School, so hang on till the end of this message for that. First and foremost, later today will be our first public forum for the Joint Facilities Advisory Committee about the Clark Wilkins and AMS projects. Here to tell you more about it is Shannon Gascoigne.
Hello, I hope that you can all come out to Wilkins School this evening at 6:30 to hear more about the plans for the Wilkins Elementary School and the Amherst Middle School, and to provide your feedback and thoughts and comments. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you tonight at 6:30 at Wilkins.
Next, today's our first day of our after-school program at Clark Wilkins with the YMCA. Thank you to the Y for helping us out. They've also been at Mount Vernon Village School this year, and that program is going very well. Thank you to the Y. Next, we have a cluster of cases at Clark School. If you've noticed our website, the case count going up for Clark Wilkins, that has been identified as a cluster in our preschool program and may very well be an outbreak. So we'll be keeping you updated as DHHS keeps us informed about that. Speaking of COVID-19, I want to highlight for everyone that on October 26th, the FDA's committee about vaccines will be meeting to review what I believe will be approval for the 5 to 11-year-olds to receive vaccination. That's an important milestone, and while the SAU has no opinion on whether people should be vaccinated or not, I will suggest that that will allow us to look at our COVID-19 mitigation strategies a little differently, specifically around masks for our younger students. So pay attention to that meeting as it comes up, and just a forewarning to our community that we will be providing updates about how that affects our mitigation strategies if that news comes forward on October 26th. And finally, I'd love to share the story of one of our high school seniors, Carrie Mastergeorge. Carrie is an exceptional student, athlete, and a wonderful person who's suffered some setbacks in her athletic career. I'd like to share those with you through the eyes of Kelly Braley, our athletic director, and then Carrie herself. So Kelly, tell us the story of Carrie Mastergeorge last year and her injury.
So Carrie played a complete fall season, which was awesome. She was the Division II Defensive Player of the Year for all the schools in the state. And then when we were playing club in the Dome, she unfortunately tore her right ACL, taking a sort of trick shot in the middle of practice one day.
And that meant she was out for almost an entire year, correct?
Yeah, so the rehab for it is usually around 9 months. She worked unbelievably hard in the winter to be ready for the fall season. So rehabbed basically 2 months ahead of schedule to be, fully cleared for August 16th.
And it was an ACL rupture, which meant when her first game this year. Tell us what happened in her first game back.
So first game was away at Hollis. Really exciting, everybody excited to be back. Lost a lot of seniors last year. Excited to see what this brand new team could do. Carrie's one of our captains, along with Mia Chorney and Karina Kuchinska. And 5 minutes into our game, Carrie is bringing a ball out of our defensive end towards the bench side sideline, goes to make a cut, and tears her left ACL.
Which is just devastating to have the other ACL get torn. And for a senior who last year was in the championship game at Kennett and wanted this year very much to have a championship, what was that like for Carrie to suffer that second injury?
The second she went down, she was devastated and, really scared that it was all happening again. I really wanted her to be wrong, but she knows her body really well and unfortunately was right. This year, though, she has been so unbelievably impressive as a teammate and a captain, being at every single team event, every practice, every game, on the sideline, supporting and pushing her team the same way she would if she were on the field, all while knowing it's still not quite the same because she would much rather be on the field playing with them, than standing on the bench with me rooting for them.
So last Wednesday was going to be her surgery date to repair her second ACL that was torn, and so senior night was the night before. And this was going to be a big night for Carrie. But what happened leading up to that senior night?
So with her surgery set for October 6th, we decided senior night would be the 5th so she could put a brace on and, go out for the start of the game for, maybe 3 minutes, no running, just, be out there with her team, have her name announced. She went in for a pre-op Monday, the 4th, at which time, they do all the normal pre-op stuff. And in this COVID time, they do a COVID test to make sure that you're all set. And her rapid COVID test came back positive, which meant no senior night, no surgery, and Carrie's crushed yet again.
So what did you do as a result? Because tonight's a special night. Tell me why.
So we went through a senior night. Everybody was all set. We FaceTimed Carrie in. She was there in spirit. But we have the lucky opportunity to redo it all this time with our seniors. So tonight at 6 o'clock will be senior night part 2 with all of our seniors able to be present, Carrie included. And we're going to do this the right way with all of our people.
Talk about Carrie's resilience and her strength of character that you've seen in her.
I don't know that I've ever met anyone who has the strength and resilience that Carrie does. What she's going through, what she's gone through, what she's still going to have to go through in recovery is not easy by any stretch of the imagination, and especially where she's done it once already and knows what's coming for her. It's just amazing to have her a part of this team and to wake up every day and still be as hungry as she would if she were putting on the uniform and being able to go out and play, rather than put on the uniform and be, a phenomenal extension of myself in supporting her teammates and working with our defense during practice. She really has become my assistant coach.
So starting off the story, my junior year, we had a nice season of field hockey, and 3 days after we lost the championships in very sad, unfortunate stands, I actually got Defensive Player of the Year for all of D2, which is a great accomplishment. I was very proud of myself. But the next day, I tore my ACL on my right side. Obviously, that injury is a very difficult thing to come back from. I got surgery in December. It was kind of give and go on whether I was going to get to play my senior year. And I pushed through. I worked my butt off to get back, played this summer season. I come back, my first game back senior year, and I blow up my other knee. 2 ACLs down within the span of about 9 months. It's been tough, but it brings me different things. My first ACL brought me a new path in my career, wanting to be a teacher instead of going into nursing, going into Best Buddies and being a special education teacher. I'm kind of excited to see what this next knee is going to bring me. Obviously, it's not a very, very good thing to have, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
Carrie, how are you smiling? 2 ACLs within 9 months and missing a senior season. How are you this happy and positive? How are you seeing the silver linings in all of this?
For me, at least through my first ACL, my big pusher was having a positive mental attitude, because I know I've seen the studies, I've heard the things, and I know having a positive mental attitude can make things go faster, and I really felt like it did through my first one. So even if the smile's fake, it still brings that sensation to your brain. It makes me kind of happy and kind of helps me push through. I mean, I have people surrounding me. I have friends. I have Kelly. I've got all these wonderful teachers that are willing to do anything for me and everything for me. So I have a support group that's really been helping me and keeping the smile on my face.
What do you say to other students your age going through really hard things? What's your advice to them?
Find the people that are going to make you happy. That is 100% the big thing for me, at least. I could be right now at my house wallowing away in pit. I have a free period right now, but I'm at school because I know that I can find people here that will help me bring me out of this kind of struggle that I'm going through, which is pretty hard for me because I'm an athlete and I love to perform and I love to be competitive. And obviously I can't do that, but I'm finding the people that are going to bring me up instead of bringing me down.